Hey, it's Matt here again, and this is part two of my behind the scenes videos on exactly what I'm doing. In the first video, I made the actual tabletop, and this video I'm going to be showing the actual base that I said I was going to be making. As you remember, the first part, it was in 5 different pieces, the 4 sides and the top, and I said I gave a basic layout on how it was going to be done. And so basically, the first part of this video is me showing exactly how I'm sewing this together, so it's, again, more in tune with the work that I'm doing. And then the second part of this will actually be done. And then don't forget, there's a third video that I'll be doing, and that's the actual trick I'll be doing on the stand and everything else. So I'm going to show you this now. Okay, so this is basically where I have the base of the table that I'll be doing for the milk crates. And again, these are the milk crates this is going to be going on. It looks kind of a mess here, but I wanted people to see exactly what I'm doing, like how much work is actually going into this. The tabletop originally took me a week. This is basically taking me a week as well. And what I have here is just some tape, and I have it taped to the side here. I actually had to undo one side of this and had to redo it. So I have one more side to do, so it's going to take me about an hour to do. But as you can see, I have it safety pin taped. And the reason I have it like this is so when I sew it, I can just tighten it. So I'm going to get a real close look at the stitching that I did. So this is going to be kind of like a pillowcase. So I'm going to flip it inside out, and it'll go on top of the crates, and it'll look really nice. But I just wanted to give people an update on exactly how rough this is. And so I guess hard to do, I mean. And so I got my sewing needle, I got my thread. And again, this is the last side I have to do. So I have to take this tape off, redo that side like this, and then sew it. And that'll take me about, between setup to finishing the knot, about an hour, and then I'll continue this video with that part, blend it together and upload it, and then I will also be making the sidewalk shuffle video. So stay tuned. All right, so I'm back. I finished my project, and I finished stitching on that one side as the first part of the video. And I was right; it took me about an hour from start to the from the tape setup to the knot. And basically, here is the finished product. I'm going to get the up close. It's basically, as I said, a pillowcase, and so here's the top. So when we get the milk crates that these are going on, and I will show you what I'm going to do is turn this inside out so the knots will be on the inside. And let's see, I did all of this by eye. I didn't use any professional measurements or anything else like that. I just have really good eye-hand coordination, as well as I have really good eye measurements. And so when I was doing this, all I could think of was the line in Mystery Men. When you care for your costume, or whatever the hell this thing said. But anyway, let me see. All right, so I'm going to put this over like a giant pillowcase, and if I did all this right, it's going to look nice. If I didn't, guess what? I'm going to have to start over, and I don't feel like starting over. So again, these were 5 pieces, and as you can see, it was all measured by eye. I'm going to turn it around, get all these things even with the ground. So this is down right. So as you can see, it's literally even. Now, as a quick reiteration, I used the milk crates, the excess material I got for what I do for the strips on my table. So when the whole thing is put together, this is what it's going to look like. Again, I get the pocket, and I would sit behind here. So I want to make sure this is kind of even, because that would look sloppy. So basically what you have here is, this is it. This is the finished product. Now, what's interesting is I have these chairs I got from a magic shop. It actually folds up and holds 250 pounds. And what I do is I sit on it. It's really interesting. They don't sell these anymore. You cannot find these. Well, actually, I shouldn't say that. You probably find them on Amazon. I don't actually know the name of them, but I usually sit on this behind the table. And that's my presentation on how I do things. So as a quick recap, the board that I made is just a piece of board that I bought at Home Depot. I used a staple gun, bought the material, staple gunned it, sewed a pocket on the inside, took the excess material, ironed it on, hand cut the strips on here, and then I took the excess material that I used for the strips and made a covering for the stand. So this is what it actually looks like. So in closing the video series on part 3, I'll be doing an actual trick that I designed the routine on. And the whole point for that is not just to show that I don't just make my own stuff. I actually come up with my own routines. And the reason I did my own routine with this is because I don't like the way the original trick is designed. It's portrayed as a gambling effect, which I don't really like as I'm doing magic. So it took me about a week. I ran the routine by my wife. She actually liked it a lot and compared it to the other two. Now, I'm not saying that the other versions are bad. It's just, I just don't like them because me being a magician doesn't like to combine gambling and tricks like that. So that's basically the extent of it. And I will see you in part 3. Thanks for watching.